Welcome on Starlight Stories, a channel speak about real encounters of aliens. You're lying in the quiet dark, seeking rest. This is a place of calm, a harbor for the weary mind. We weave tales of the mysterious and the serene, stories not of fear, but of wonder. Stories to guide you into a deep and peaceful sleep. If you find comfort here in the stillness, consider subscribing to this channel. Let these narratives be a gentle constant in your night, a soft light in the darkness. Now, settle in, make yourself comfortable. Let the day's tensions melt away. Breathe in slowly and out. And as you breathe, we'll drift together into the vast, silent sky above. Chapter 1, The Luminous Companion. Our first story takes us back to a clear, moonlit night in the winter of 1978. Imagine yourself in the cockpit of a small twin-engine cargo plane. You're the only soul on board, cruising at 18,000 feet over the snow-dusted mountains of the Pacific Northwest. The drone of the engines is a constant, soothing hum. The control panel glows with a soft, orange light, and outside the world is a tapestry of indigo and black, punctuated by a million brilliant stars. Your hands are resting lightly on the controls, your mind lulled by the monotony of the flight. You're tracing the faint, silvery path of a river far below when you see it. A light, not a star, something else. It's off to your right, keeping perfect pace with you. You assume it's another aircraft on a similar heading. You give a casual glance, then return to scanning your instruments. But a few minutes later, you look again. It's still there, closer now, and it's not showing the standard red and green navigation lights of a plane. It's just a single, unwavering point of pure white light. You squint, trying to make sense of it. You key your microphone to call air traffic control. But before you can speak, the light changes. It begins to pulse, slowly, rhythmically. A soft, gentle glow that expands and contracts like a sleeping breath. There's no aggression in its movement, no sudden jerks. It simply accompanies you. It matches your speed, your altitude, as if it's tethered to you by an invisible thread. A strange calm settles over you. The initial prickle of adrenaline fades, replaced by a profound curiosity. You're not afraid. You feel observed, but not threatened. It feels more like a quiet acknowledgement, one traveler to another in the immense, empty ocean of the night. You decide not to radio it in this moment. Feels too private, too fragile for crackling radios and official questions. You just fly. You and your silent, luminous companion. For nearly an hour, it stays with you. It's gentle, pulsing, a silent conversation against the backdrop of the Milky Way. And then, as you begin your gradual descent towards the distant glow of the airport, the light pulses one last time, a little brighter, a little warmer, and then it simply accelerates, not with a roar, but in utter silence. It streaks upwards, a single shooting star racing in reverse, until it merges with the canopy of stars and is gone. You're left alone with the hum of your engines, the memory of the light etched into your mind. A peaceful secret carried in the heart of the night. Let the memory of that soft, pulsing light fade into the stars of your own mind, drifting away. As you drift deeper into sleep. Chapter 2, The Silent Formation. Now, let your mind drift to the wide, sun-drenched skies of the American Southwest. You're at the controls of a sleek fighter jet on a routine training mission. The sky is a brilliant, endless blue. The sun glints off the canopy. Below, the desert is a blur of tan and ochre. You're practicing maneuvers, feeling the responsive pull of the aircraft as you bank and turn. Your wingman is a few miles away, a tiny speck against the vastness. You complete a high G turn and level out, scanning the horizon. And that's when you see them. 5 objects. They are not aircraft. They are smooth, disc-shaped, and silver, reflecting the sunlight like polished mercury. They are flying in a perfect, unwavering V formation, like a flock of geometric geese. There is no sound, no contrails, no visible means of propulsion. Your training screams threat, but your instinct feels something else. They are not maneuvering aggressively. They are not reacting to you. They are simply passing through. Their flight is so serene, so impossibly smooth, it's hypnotic to watch. You try to radio your wingman, but your equipment emits only a soft, strange, static hiss. You push your throttle forward, not to engage, but to observe, to get closer. You climb towards their altitude, but despite your immense speed, you cannot close the distance. It remains constant. They are not outpacing you. It's as if the space between you is stretching an unbreakable bubble around them. You fly parallel to them for a few minutes, a spectator to their silent parade. There is no hostility, only a majestic, silent grace. You feel a humbling sense of smallness, a awe at the precision and peace of their movement. They are utterly indifferent to your presence, yet their passage feels significant. Then, as one, the 5 objects tilt on their axis. The sunlight flashes off their surfaces one final time, and then they are simply gone, not vanishing in a blink, but accelerating to a speed your eyes cannot follow, streaking into the blue and vanishing from sight. The static on your radio clears. Your wingman's voice crackles through, asking for your status. You take a deep, slow breath of oxygen, looking out at the empty sky where they had been, carrying the peaceful, awe-filled silence with you all. The way back to the ground. Let that image of silent, graceful formation dissolve into the blue, fading, as your thoughts fade into rest. Asterisk, Chapter 3. The cloud that wasn't Imogen, now a transoceanic flight. You're in the cockpit of a massive commercial airliner, high over the Atlantic. It's the deep night shift. The cabin behind you is dark and quiet, hundreds of passengers sleeping. Your co-pilot is dozing in the seat beside you. The only light comes from the instruments and the soft glow of the moon on a blanket of clouds far below. The radar is clear. The air is calm. The autopilot guides the ship with a gentle hand. You sip your coffee, watching the moonlit world outside. Ahead, you see a large, isolated cloud formation, glowing a soft white. You note it passively. It's just another cloud. But as you draw nearer, something doesn't feel right. The shape is too perfect. A perfect, softly rounded cylinder, like a giant cigar. And it isn't moving with the wind. It's holding its position. You nudge your co-pilot awake. Look at that, you say, your voice low. Together, you watch as you approach this object. It's enormous, dwarfing your aircraft. As you get closer, you see, it's not a cloud of water vapor, but something else. A mist that seems to glow with its own soft, internal light. It has a solidity to it, a presence. You can see darker patches within the glow, like windows or portals into a deeper dark. There is no fear in the cockpit, only a shared, breathless wonder. You alter your course by a few degrees, not to avoid it, but to get a better look. As you pass by, perhaps a mile away, you see the surface of the mist seems to swirl, slowly, hypnotically. Patterns form and dissolve like thoughts in a dream. For a long moment, you fly alongside this serene, silent giant. It pays you no mind. It is a leviathan of the upper air, a peaceful island in the sky. You feel a strange sensation, not of being watched, but of being acknowledged. As if this immense intelligence is aware of your tiny passing speck and wishes you no harm. Eventually, you pass it by. You and your co-pilot watch it in the rear-view mirrors until it's just a faint smudge of light on the horizon. And then, nothing. You both look at each other, but no words are needed. You return to your duties, the mystery hanging in the air between you, a silent, shared experience of profound and peaceful wonder, a secret guarded by the night and the sea. Let that image of the gentle, glowing mist swirl and dissolve, softening your thoughts, easing you into a state of deep and tranquil sleep. Chapter 4. The Dance Over the Channel. Let us travel across the ocean to the English Channel on a crisp autumn evening. You're flying a small private plane from France back to England. The sunset is a spectacular display of orange, purple, and deep blue over the water. The lights of ships below begin to twinkle like fallen stars. You're enjoying the view, the calmness of the evening air, when a flash of green light catches your eye. It's below you, over the water. You assume it's a reflection or a signal flare, but it happens again. A pulse of emerald green light, so vivid it seems to stain the twilight. You bank gently to get a better view, and you see it, a dark, triangular object, silhouetted against the shimmering path of the sunset on the water. It is completely silent, and it is dancing. It moves in ways that defy physics. It zips from one point to another with no acceleration, stopping instantly. It rotates slowly on its center point, then drops towards the waves only to shoot back up into the sky, all without a sound. It's not a menacing dance. It's playful, joyful, even it moves like a leaf caught in a gentle updraft, but with purpose and impossible grace. You reduce your throttle, simply hovering in the sky, watching the performance. The green light pulses occasionally, not at you, but seemingly out of sheer exuberance. You feel a smile spread across your face. The sight is so beautiful, so utterly unlike anything you've ever seen, that fear has no place here. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated wonder. You feel like you've been granted a privilege, a front-row seat to a secret ballet performed for an audience of one. After several minutes, the triangular object ceases its movements. It hovers motionless for a moment, then it emits one final brilliant pulse of green light that seems to fill your cockpit. And then it's gone. Not with a zoom into the distance, but by simply fading from existence. Like a mirage, evaporating in the evening air. You fly the rest of the way home in a contented daze, the memory of the silent, joyful dance playing over and over in your mind, a gift of beauty from the unknown. Let the memory of that silent, joyful dance lull you, each movement a wave of relaxation, carrying you deeper and deeper into peace. Chapter 5. The Arctic Sentinel. Now, let your mind journey to a place of extreme quiet, the high Arctic. You're on a scientific survey flight, mapping ice flows. The world below is a monochrome landscape of white and blue. The sky is a pale, endless gray. It is profoundly, utterly silent. Hours pass with only the hum of the engine and the blank landscape below. Then, on the radar, a blip, a large, stationary object over a remote, frozen island. There's nothing there. No bases, no installations. You alter course to investigate. As you approach, you see it, a structure. It is not made of ice or rock. It is a smooth, obsidian black pyramid, standing silently on the snowy plain. It's huge, perhaps 300 feet tall. Its surfaces are perfectly smooth, reflecting the bleak sky like a dark mirror. No lights, no movement, no signs of life, just presence. You circle it twice, your plane feeling small and fragile next to this silent, geometric sentinel. There is no danger, no energy readings, no response to your presence. It is simply there, an ancient, silent thing, sleeping under the Arctic sky. It feels old, immeasurably old. It projects an aura of immense patience and deep, deep peace, as if it has been standing there for millennia, waiting, watching the ice ages come and go. You feel a profound reverence. This is not a ship, but a place, a monument. You don't feel like you discovered it. You feel like you were allowed to see it. You complete your circles, taking photographs that you know will likely show nothing but blurry darkness. And then, with a sense of solemn respect, you turn back to your original heading. You glance back once. The black pyramid stands unwavering. In the white expanse, a stoic guardian of mysteries and time, until it disappears into the haze. You fly on, carrying the weight of its silent, ancient peace with you. A peace that now settles over your own mind. Chapter 6. The Guide Through the Storm. For our final story tonight, imagine a scenario that begins not with peace, but with tension. You're flying a small charter plane through a building thunderstorm. Lightning forks through bruised purple clouds ahead. Turbulence shakes the aircraft. Your knuckles are white on the controls. Your focus razor sharp as you try to find a way around the worst of it. But the storm is too vast. You're being pushed off course. The radio is a crackle of static, other pilots and traffic control reporting the same severe weather. For the first time that night, a flicker of genuine concern passes through you. And then, through a brief curtain of rain, you see a light. A steady, calm blue light. It's not lightning. It holds its position. You watch it, and it begins to move, not randomly, but with clear intention. It moves to your left and holds. An idea, a crazy instinct, enters your mind. You decide to follow it. You turn your plane, following the soft blue beacon. It leads you through a canyon of cloud, away from the most intense lightning flashes. the turbulence lessens. This is no longer just a light. It feels like a guide. It moves with certainty, always staying just ahead, always showing a path of slightly calmer air. Your breathing slows. The tension in your shoulders releases. You are no longer fighting the storm alone. You are being led through it. For 20 minutes, you follow this silent blue guide, a sense of profound gratitude washing over you. It feels like a helping hand extended from the unknown. Finally, you break out of the far side of the storm system. The sky is clear ahead, filled with stars. You look for your guide, to thank it somehow. The blue light hovers motionless for a moment beside your wing. It pulses softly, once, twice, and then winks out of existence, leaving you alone in the calm, quiet sky. You land safely, forever changed, not by a fear of the unknown, but by a belief in its potential for kindness. The memory of that blue light is a touchstone of comfort, a reminder that even in the midst of life's storms, guidance and peace can be found in the most unexpected places. Chapter 7: The Endless Pacific Companion. Our story begins not with a jolt, but with a slow, dawning awareness. Imagine yourself at the helm of a massive cargo jet, a mighty Boeing 747, cruising on autopilot, 35,000 feet above the central Pacific Ocean. It is the deepest point of the night, the witching hour. Behind you, the cabin is dark and silent, your crew resting. Before you, the world is a study in monochrome. A nearly full moon hangs in a cloudless sky, its cold, silver light painting the top of an endless expanse of stratocumulus clouds that stretch to every horizon, making it look as though you are flying over a ghostly, frozen sea. The 4 engines hum their steady, vibrationless song, a sound so constant it has faded into the very fabric of silence. Your cockpit is a cocoon of soft, red instrument light designed to preserve your night vision. You are utterly, completely alone. There is no chatter on the long-range radio, just the occasional faint crackle of static from a universe away. You sip tepid coffee, your movements slow and deliberate, your mind adrift in the immense, beautiful isolation. It is during one of these long, contemplative moments that you notice a star that seems different. It's off to the left side of your windshield, perhaps 10 degrees above the horizon. It's brighter than the others, and it holds a faint, distinct amber hue. You note it with a pilot's passive curiosity, assuming it's a planet Jupiter or Mars, perhaps. You return to your thoughts, to the hypnotic view of the moonlit cloud deck. But a half-hour later, your eyes are drawn back to that same point of light, and something has changed. It is noticeably brighter, and it is no longer a stationary point. It has begun to move, tracing a slow, languid arc against the backdrop of fixed stars. A quiet alertness stirs within you, not fear, but a deep, focused curiosity. You slowly reach over and disengage the autopilot, your hands taking the control. Calm, though you make no change to your heading or altitude. You simply want to feel connected to the aircraft, to be an active participant in whatever this is. The light continues its slow movement until it is directly ahead of you, perhaps 100 miles distant, and then it stops. It simply holds its position, a steady, unwavering amber beacon, minutes stretch. The world consists only of the hum of the engines, the glow of the moon, and this silent, patient light. You try to raise anyone on the radio. Any station. This is November 451 Alpha, high level, over Foxtrot Niner. Your voice sounds small in the vastness. Only silence answers. And then the light begins to approach. It does not zip or streak. It moves with a serene, deliberate slowness, growing steadily in size and intensity. As it draws nearer, you can see it is not a single light, but a cluster of lights, arranged in a perfect, silent circle around a dark, central mass. There is no sound, no shockwave, no turbulence. It is as if it is moving through a different medium than you are. It closes the distance until it is flying perhaps a mere half-mile off your left wingtip. The sheer size of it takes your breath away. It is not a small probe. It is vast, easily the size of an aircraft carrier, its dark hole absorbing the moonlight rather than reflecting it. The amber lights pulse in a slow, complex rhythm, like a celestial heartbeat. You can now see details on its surface indentations, geometric patterns, subtle variations in texture. It is utterly real and utterly impossible. A primal part of your brain, the part wired for self-preservation, should be screaming in terror, but it is silent. The emotion that floods you is something else entirely, a profound, humbling awe. There is no sense of threat. The object exudes a palpable feeling of curiosity, of observation. It is studying you just as you are studying it. It matches your speed and altitude with a precision that is beyond perfection. For what feels like an eternity, you fly in formation with this silent leviathan. You are no longer a pilot on a routine flight. You are part of something monumental. The concerns of the Earth's schedules, deadlines, worries melt away into an incredible insignificance. You are sharing a moment of cosmic connection, a silent conversation between two travelers in the infinite night. You find yourself speaking to it, not with your voice, but with your mind. Who are you? Where are you from? There is no answer in words, but a feeling washes over you, a sense of ancient peace, of long journeys, of a universe teeming with life and wonder. It is a feeling of profound comfort. After nearly an hour of this silent escort, the object begins to slowly, gracefully fall behind. You watch it in your rear-view mirror, the amber lights pulsing their gentle rhythm. It drops below the cloud layer, its lights illuminating the top of the clouds from within, creating a soft, glowing patch that recedes into the distance. You watch until the glow finally winks out, leaving you alone once more with the moon and the stars. You engage the autopilot again, your hands trembling slightly, not from fear, but from the sheer intensity of the experience. You do not try to radio it in. Some experiences are too sacred, too personal, to be dissected in an official report. It becomes your secret, a jewel of memory held close to your heart. For the rest of your life, when you look up at the night sky, you will feel a connection, a peaceful knowing that we are not alone, and that the universe is far more mysterious and beautiful than we can ever imagine. And the memory will always bring you a deep, abiding sense of calm. Chapter 8. The Ballet of the Nordic Lights. Imagine yourself piloting a small, sturdy twin-engine turboprop, charting a course from the rugged coast of Iceland towards the fjords of northern Norway. It is deep winter. The world below is a monochrome tapestry of white snow, black rock, and the dark, churning ink of the Arctic Ocean. But above you, the sky is alive. It is the aurora borealis. Not a faint glow on the horizon, but a full, blazing cathedral of light. Vast curtains of emerald green and violet ripple and dance across the heavens, silent and majestic. Your aircraft is a tiny, humming speck beneath this incredible display. The cockpit is warm, the engines drone, a familiar comfort against the immense, silent spectacle outside. You feel a profound gratitude, a privilege to have this front row seat to one of nature's greatest performances. You've been watching the lights for over an hour, their movements hypnotic and unpredictable. And then you notice something new within the flowing green ribbons, a cluster of lights, smaller, more defined. They are a soft, pulsating gold, and they move with a purpose that seems separate from the random, solar wind-driven dance of the aurora. There are 6 of them. You adjust your course slightly, not to investigate, but simply to keep them in your view, a natural curiosity taking hold. The golden orbs begin to move. They drift away from the main body of the aurora, forming a loose circle. For a moment, they hang there, suspended in the dark sky between the green curtains. Then they begin their ballet. It is a slow, graceful, and impossibly complex dance. They weave in and out of each other's paths, creating intricate patterns, spirals, perfect geometric shapes that form and dissolve. Their movements are utterly silent and perfectly synchronized, as if guided by a single conscious mind. A sense of wonder, so deep it feels like a physical warmth, spreads through your chest. This is no longer just a natural phenomenon. This is a performance. It feels intentional. You reduce your airspeed, lowering your flaps to stay aloft, wanting to prolong this moment forever. The golden orbs seem to respond. They expand their dance, moving closer to your aircraft until they are dancing around you, above you, below you. They leave faint, shimmering trails of light in their wake, like ethereal ribbons. There is no fear, only an overwhelming feeling of beauty and peace. It feels like a gift, a secret show put on for a lone audience of one, flying through the Arctic night. You find yourself laughing softly in the cockpit, a pure, unadulterated sound of joy. The orbs pulse brighter, as if sharing in your delight. For what feels like a small eternity, you are part of their dance. The plane feels like it's floating, weightless, carried not just by its engines, but by the current of wonder surrounding it. The concerns of your destination, your flight plan, the world below, they all melt away into insignificance. There is only this moment, this beautiful, silent communion with the unknown. Slowly, gracefully, the dance begins to draw to a close. The 6 orbs retreat from your plane, reforming their circle. They pulse in unison, a final, gentle farewell. Then, as one, they accelerate back towards the heart of the aurora borealis. They don't vanish. They merge with the flowing green light, their golden glow suffusing with the emerald, becoming one with the celestial display once more. You are left alone again under the aurora, But the sky feels different now. It feels alive in a way you never imagined. It feels conscious and friendly. You continue on your course, your heart full of a serene, ineffable joy. The memory of the ballet is etched into your mind, not as a UFO encounter, but as a moment of pure, transcendent art. A reminder that the universe is not only vast and mysterious, but also capable of breathtaking beauty and a playful, gentle grace. For the rest of your life, the sight of the northern lights will bring you back to this feeling of peaceful, awestruck wonder. Chapter 9. The Keeper of the Storm. Let your mind journey to a different kind of sky one, not of peace, but of powerful, primal energy. You are at the controls of a regional airliner, flying an evening route over the Great Plains of the American Midwest. The sun is setting behind you, casting long, deep orange rays across a landscape that is already mostly dark. Ahead, however, the sky is not dark. It is a terrifyingly beautiful wall of purple, blue, and black. A line of supercell thunderstorms, towering from the ground to over 60,000 feet, anvil tops spreading out like a celestial fortress. Lightning flickers within it, constantly, illuminating the caverns of cloud like a strobe light. Your radar is painting a furious picture of red and magenta. The voice of air traffic control is clipped and urgent, vectoring traffic away from the worst of it. You feel the first bumps of turbulence, gentle reminders of the raw power ahead. You tighten your seatbelt and ask your passengers to do the same. Your professional calm a mask over a building focus. You request a deviation and are cleared to turn north to try and find a way around the immense system. But the storm is moving faster than anticipated. The ride becomes rougher. The aircraft shudders and bumps through the turbulent air. Rain begins to slash against the windshield, quickly turning into a torrent. You are still on the fringes, but being drawn in. The lightning flashes are closer now. The thunder, a deep, continuous rumble you can feel in your bones. For the first time that night, a cold knot of genuine concern forms in your stomach. This is no longer routine. You are just about to request a more drastic turn, to demand a clearance further north. When it happens, a colossal bolt of lightning forks directly ahead, so bright it leaves a purple afterimage on your eyes. And in that split-second illumination, you see it, silhouetted against the lit-up interior of the cloud, a shape. It is vast, smooth, and oval. It is within the storm itself. Your breath catches. You strain your eyes, blinking away the afterimage. Another lightning flash. There it is again. It's real. It's holding a position right in the heart of the most violent part of the storm. And then you see its light. Not a reflection, but a soft, cool, blue glow emanating from its underside. It pulses slowly, rhythmically, a calm heartbeat in the midst of chaos. You are mesmerized. The turbulence seems to lessen slightly around you, as if you found a strangely calm patch. The blue-lit object begins to move. It doesn't fight the storm. It moves with an effortless grace through the swirling clouds and lightning, the tempest seeming to part for it. It descends slightly and then moves directly ahead of your flight path. A crazy, instinctive thought enters your mind. Follow it. You don't know why, but every fiber of your being tells you this is not a threat. It is a presence, a guide. You keep your eyes locked on that steady blue glow. Incredibly, as you follow it, the ride becomes smoother. The violent bumps and jolts fade into a gentle, rocking motion. The object is ahead of you, carving a path through the storm, a path of relative calm. Lightning still flashes on either side, but your path is clear. It is like flying through a tunnel of tranquility that this silent keeper is creating for you. The fear you felt moments ago transforms into a staggering awe. You are no longer battling the elements. You are being escorted through them. A profound sense of gratitude washes over you. You feel protected, watched over. For 20 minutes, you follow the blue light, your hands relaxed on the controls, your breathing deep and steady. You are a witness to a miracle. Eventually, you see a break in the clouds ahead, the far side of the storm system. The blue light of your guide slows its pace. It holds its position for a long moment, pulsing softly. It then begins to ascend, rising vertically into the boiling cloud deck above. You watch it go until its light is swallowed by the dark clouds. The moment it disappears, the turbulence returns. But only for a moment. You burst out into the clear, calm night air on the other side of the storm. The stars are out. The world is peaceful. You let out a long, slow breath. You didn't realize you'd been holding. You and your first officer exchange a look, but no words are needed. The experience is too vast for words. You complete your flight and land without incident. The official report will mention unexpected clear air within the storm system, but you will always know the truth. You met the keeper of the storm, and you carry with you forever the unshakable knowledge that even in the midst of life's most terrifying turbulence, there are forces of peace and guidance, if only we are open to seeing them. Chapter 10. The Desert Sentinel. Let us now leave the turbulent skies and descend into a place of ancient, sun-baked silence. Imagine yourself not in a large airliner, but in the cockpit of a single-seat F-16 fighter jet. You are on a high-speed, low-level training mission, skimming just 500 feet above the floor of the Mojave Desert. The world outside is a blur of burnt umber, ochre, and stark white. Canyon walls flash by on either side, their stratified rock faces telling a story a billion years old. The roar of your engine is a constant, powerful thunder in your ears, a sound you feel in your teeth. Your focus is absolute, your hands making tiny, precise inputs on the control stick, weaving through the pre-programmed canyon route. The G-force presses you gently into your seat as you bank around a tight turn. The digital map on your display confirms your position. You are utterly alone in this vast, empty landscape. You bank around another sharp corner, a narrow gorge known on your chart as Solitude Canyon. And there, in the very center of the canyon, perhaps a mile ahead of you, something is wrong. The air is distorted. It shimmers like a heat haze, but it's a perfect, geometric shape, a diamond, standing on one point, hovering motionless, just 50 feet above the dry riverbed. Your training kicks in instantly. Your eyes dart from the object to your instruments. No radar return, no infrared signature, nothing. It is as if your multi-million-dollar jet is blind to it. You have seconds to react. You pull back gently on the stick, climbing a few hundred feet to avoid overflying it directly. Your heart hammering against your ribs, not from fear, but from sheer, overwhelming surprise. You circle back, reducing your speed, your eyes locked on the phenomenon below. As you slow, the shimmering begins to solidify. The haze coalesces into a form. It is a craft, but unlike any you have ever seen or imagined. It is a perfect black diamond. Its surface is not metallic. It is non-reflective. There are no wings, no engines, no markings. It simply is. You complete a wide, slow circle around it. It does not move. It does not react. It simply hangs there, a silent, geometric sentinel in the deep desert silence. The initial shock begins to fade, replaced by a deep, humbling awe. This is no aggressive invader. It feels ancient, immeasurably old. It projects an aura of immense patience, of having witnessed epochs come and go. It feels less like a ship and more like a place, a monument that has chosen this moment to briefly reveal itself. You feel your breathing slow to match its stillness. The roar of your own engine suddenly feels crude, loud, and temporary. You are looking at something permanent. You fly around it again and again, each pass deepening the sense of reverence. You are in the presence of a mystery so profound it defies understanding. There is no desire to threaten it, to probe it, to understand it with your instruments. The only appropriate response is quiet observation, respect. On your fifth pass, you see a subtle change. The surface of the diamond seems to ripple, like the surface of still water, disturbed by a single drop. The ripple spreads from the center to the edges. And then, with a slow, graceful motion that defies all physics, the craft begins to move sideways, not up, not forward, directly towards the solid, vertical wall of the canyon. You hold your breath. It doesn't crash. It doesn't maneuver. It simply merges. The black diamond passes into the solid rock, as if the rock were nothing but a shadow. There is no explosion, no sound, no disturbance. It slides into the canyon wall and is gone. The rock face is once again just rock, unchanged, silent. You are left alone, circling an empty canyon. You climb back to a higher altitude, your mind reeling. You check all your systems. Everything is normal. There is no recording, no data, nothing to prove what you just saw. And you find you are glad. Some truths are not meant for data recorders. They are meant for the soul. You fly back to base in a contemplative silence, the roar of your engine now a lonely sound. You carry with you the memory of that perfect black diamond, a touchstone of patience and permanence, a reminder that the world holds deeper secrets than we can ever know, and that true power is often found in absolute, silent stillness. Chapter 11. The Fog over the Channel. Now, let us travel across the ocean to a different era, to a time of romance and simpler machines. Imagine yourself bundled in a leather jacket and goggles, at the controls of a de Havilland Tiger Moth, a beautiful vintage biplane from aviation's golden age. The engine thrums rhythmically before you, a comforting mechanical heartbeat. You are flying from a small airfield in northern France back to your home in southern England, a trip you've made many times. The English Channel is a sheet of leaden gray below you, and the sky is a low, solid ceiling of cloud. You are navigating by compass and by sight, the way pilots did a century ago. You know that soon the white cliffs of Dover should appear through the haze. But today, the weather has other plans. A thick, impenetrable bank of sea fog rolls in with surprising speed, swallowing the world whole. In minutes, you are enveloped in a damp, gray nothingness. The horizon vanishes. The water below vanishes. There is only the gray, the hum of your engine, and the occasional drip of moisture on your goggles. Your compass begins to behave erratically, swaying and dipping uselessly. You are lost, truly, genuinely lost. The fuel gauge, a simple glass bulb on the dashboard, shows a concerningly low level. A quiet, cold anxiety begins to creep into your stomach. This is how accidents happen. You are a tiny, fragile speck in an immense, gray void. You fly on for what feels like an eternity, your eyes straining for any break in the fog, for any sign of land. The anxiety starts to tighten its grip, and then you see a light, a soft, warm, yellow glow off to your left. It looks like the light from a cottage window. Land, you think, a surge of relief washing over you. You bank gently towards it, but as you approach, the light changes. It is not on the ground, it is in the air, keeping pace with you. And it is not one light, but several. They resolve into a soft, circular glow, and within that glow, you see it, a classic shape, one from storybooks and magazine covers, a flying saucer. It is silvery, with a domed top and a row of circular portholes, from which emanates that soft, warm, yellow light dot. Is perhaps 100 feet away. It makes no sound. There is no roar of rockets, no blast of energy. It simply accompanies you. It flies alongside your slow, old-fashioned biplane, matching your speed perfectly. The initial shock is overpowered by an overwhelming sense of reassurance. The light from its portholes is not menacing. It is welcoming, like a porch light guiding you home. The cold anxiety in your stomach melts away, replaced by a curious calm. You fly alongside this silent, nostalgic craft for long minutes. It feels like a ghost from aviation's future, come back to guide a relic from its past. You are no longer lost. You are being escorted. You feel a strange connection to the pilot of this craft, a shared understanding of the joy and vulnerability of flight. Eventually, through the fog ahead, a darker gray emerges, a coastline. The saucer moves slightly ahead of you, its lights pulsing gently, leading you directly towards a gap in the cliff's safe passage inland. As you break out of the fog and see the green fields of England below, the saucer slows. It hovers for a moment beside you. You raise a hand in a gesture of thanks. In response, its lights pulse once brightly, a friendly wink, and then it peels away, ascending vertically back into the blanket of fog and disappearing from view. You land at the first field you find, your heart full of a bewildering gratitude. You will never be able to explain it. A flying saucer. No one would believe you, but it doesn't matter. The memory is not one of fear, but of a gentle, almost whimsical kindness. A reminder that even when we are lost and alone, help can come from the most unexpected places, and that the spirit of adventure and camaraderie extends far beyond our own understanding. Chapter 12. The Whisper over the Outback. For our sixth journey, let us descend into the immense, bread heart of Australia. You are flying a solo survey mission in a high-winged single-engine Cessna. The time is late afternoon. The sun hangs low and heavy in the sky, painting the endless desert below in shades of fiery orange, deep red, and long, stretching purple shadows. The landscape is ancient and empty, a timeless expanse of scrub, dust, and stone. The only sound is the steady drone of your propeller and the rush of air over the wings. You are utterly alone, and you relish it. This is a place for contemplation, for feeling small against the grandeur of the earth. You are tracing a line on your map, a long, straight course over hundreds of miles of uninhabited land. You check your instruments out of habit. Everything is green, fuel is good, engine temps are normal. You are looking down at the landscape, marveling at the patterns of dry riverbeds, when you notice it. The drone of the engine changes. It doesn't sputter or cough. It simply fades. The RPM needle drops to 0. The electronic screens in the panel flicker and die. The headphones on your ears go silent. You are now floating in a profound, absolute silence, broken only by the whistle of the wind. Your heart leaps into your throat. Engine failure. You immediately push the nose down to maintain airspeed, your eyes scanning the dead, flat desert below for any place at all to put down. But your training is fighting with a rising panic. This isn't right. The engine didn't fail. It was silenced. The electronics didn't die. They were turned off. You look up, and you see why, hanging in the sky. Perhaps 1,000 feet above you and off to your right is a ship. It is vast, easily the size of a city block. It is shaped like a smoothed, flattened cigar, its surface a dull gunmetal gray. It has no visible wings, engines, or windows. It is just there, and it is the source of the silence. You can feel it. A blanket of perfect technological quiet has been thrown over your aircraft, but the plane is still flying. You are still gliding, perfectly normally, control yoke responsive in your hands. You are not falling. The immense ship above you matches your glide path exactly. There is no aggression, no probing beams of light, no menacing movements. It simply accompanies you in this profound silence. And then the feeling comes. It is not a sound. It is a vibration in your mind, a sensation that bypasses your ears entirely. It is a feeling of immense peace, of ancient intelligence, of a calm, benevolent curiosity. It is a whisper in the soul. Images, not words, flash in your mind. A galaxy spinning, a planet teeming with life, a sense of long, patient observation. The feeling is unmistakable. You are no threat. We mean no harm. We are simply here. The fear evaporates. It is replaced by a staggering sense of privilege. This is not an attack. It is an audience. You are in the presence of something so far beyond human technology, it is akin to magic. You look from the dead instruments to the living ship above you, and you simply accept it. You fly on in this magical silence, a speck of life escorted by a leviathan under the setting sun. After several minutes, the feeling in your mind changes. It becomes a sense of farewell, a gentle, reassuring sensation of safe travels. And as suddenly as it left, the sound returns. The engine roars back to life. The instrument panels light up. Your headphones crackle with a delayed message from a distant air traffic controller. The immense ship above you doesn't zoom away. It simply fades. It becomes transparent, like a mirage, and then is gone, leaving only the empty, darkening sky. You sit there, your hand on the throttle, the engine humming normally. You continue your survey, your mind racing, yet perfectly calm. You have nothing to report, nothing to prove. You have been touched by the unknown, and it was peaceful, and it was kind. The immense loneliness of the outback now feels different. It feels empty. It feels shared. And you carry that peaceful secret with you, a quiet whisper in your heart that will forever bring you comfort.